Hello all and welcome to my channel, Rover Turbo. In this part, the final part of the Corsa, the Cat S Corsa, basically in this part it's the final part of putting all the bits together, getting everything back from the paint shop, getting it all put back together again, getting it ready for sale. So follow me along in this video and see the end of this project. I've got all the wings on now. Pretty happy with the gaps. The gaps aren't particularly great. I mean, they're quite big, so I've kind of matched those, and they can be jiggled about a little bit. So everything else is all pretty good. The headlamp's in. I'm happy with all of that. That all lines up nice. All the bolts go in. There wasn't any issues with anything, you know, lining up. I'm pretty happy with that. Just get it all over to paint. Take the wings back off again. Take the bonnet over the bumper, get it all painted up in the colour, and then I can obviously then start putting everything back together. And I need to also find, there's a piece of plastic here that goes across here which the front back bumper mounts to, which I ordered, but it got cancelled for some reason, so I've ordered another one. And then all the plastic trims that go in the front bumper, all the grills and associated bits and pieces, but they just clip into the bumper, so I'll get those ordered up. They're not cheap, so when the bumper's painted I'll get all those put on. Oh, that was a coincidence, wasn't it? The Hermes delivery lady's just turned up with this parcel, so I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. So we can get that unpackaged and bolted on. So I've just loosely place the front bumper on there. And these bits you cut out, I'll do that after it's painted so it doesn't wobble about too much. And there's a plastic part of the grille, this plastic part of the grille, it goes all the way on the inside and up here, and it comes out at the top, and it's this what locates in these, and these clip into the plastic piece. So it's, you know, without it painted it's impossible, you can't test fit it properly. So yeah, it's coming together. It's another lovely day in paradise. As per usual, I've forgotten to pick up the camera and record my progress. So basically all of the paint, the items have come back from the paint shop. So we got front bumper. Front bumper's all painted, brand new front bumper painted, brand new bonnet painted, and the two wings. So the two wings are fitted. So everything up here is all tightened up, but this has all been left loose because I want to get the headlamp in, and then I can make sure my gaps are right there. I need to get the bonnet on before I need to jiggle stuff about. So relatively simple to bolt these on. So that's that. So the next thing I'm going to do is put that headlamp in and possibly the bonnet, but I don't know if I want to struggle with that on my own. I could put loads of rags down under here and bolt it on, but I'd rather have two people. So I'm going to get some more stuff bolted up. There was some deep scratches, obviously from the accident. There were some deep scratches in this door. There was a dent here and there was some deep scratches. You can just see them actually. And there, look, you can just see where I've just given this a block over with some 800 grit sandpaper, but you can just see there's a couple of areas I still need to sand down. Obviously I've missed a bit there, and then there was a slight dent in this arch, a tiny little dent, and then there were some scuffs over here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get this entire door painted, colour and lacquer, take the door handle off, take the mirror off, and I'm going to lacquer it up to this, and then the whole down to the sill, and then this is going to be blended up to this line here in colour. Door handle off, and then the lacquer will be blended in to this panel, because obviously it goes all the way up here, which this doesn't. There's a break point, so if you end up, you'd have to go all the way up here, all the way up here, and then you've got the roof here, so you blend it into the door, and then this is going to be the same thing. It's going to be blended up to this line again, so it's going to be 800 up to here, 1200 up to here. It's going to be scotched in here. The colour is going to blend up into here, and then it's going to be the lacquer, and then this entire section down and then across is all going to be painted. I'm just working on that at the moment, and I've still got to get the windscreen sorted. I did have a guy out to replace the windscreen, but apparently this windscreen is heated. I don't know whether you can see that. There's no button inside. He asked me, is it heated? And I said, no, it's not heated, no lights. It's only a base model, but apparently it's heated, and they all work on thermostats now, he said, but it might work on the heated rear window. The rest of it's all put back together. The front bumper and the wings. So the painter, when he does this, is going to mop the wings, the bumper and the bonnet, because it hasn't been mopped. So I don't think it looks too bad. I've seen a lot of these for sale, and some of the panel gaps and stuff, and the colour matches on them are horrific when they're Cat S, Cat N. So there's a little bit of adjustment I still need to do in a couple of places, but overall I'm actually happy with the way it looks. And the colour match, I don't know if it's an easy colour to match because it's not a red or white, or red. I think white's quite easy to match, but so yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just waiting for the windscreen and do that bodywork. I also had an issue with this crash sensor. The original front panel that I got for this car to replace it had the crash sensor on it. Fine, it was fine. Started it up, drove it backwards and forwards, several times I started it up, keyed on, and it was absolutely fine. And all of a sudden it came up with service airbag, and it turned out to be this crash sensor. It just went wrong. Apparently it's a relatively common problem, so I managed to get a replacement one off eBay, a brand new original part, plugged it in, and it's solved the problem. So I'm not quite sure why all of a sudden that stopped working, but yeah, all under the engine bay, all looks nice. The battery, got a battery on there and everything, so it's all done under here. So I've flattened off and I've sanded obviously down the filler there, applied a bit of primer, went through there to bare metal because the scratches were quite deep, and then obviously that's where the filler was, so I'm going to let that dry off and flat that all down. So I literally just need to make this all completely even. So I need to block all this down so you can't see any of these marks. So I did have to go over quite a lot of it with 400 grit to get rid of the worst of the scratches. So just a bit of tape down here to stop you scratching it, and obviously around there. So this is where I am on the Corsa. I've got it all flatted off. This entire door is 800, taking the door handles off and the wing mirror. I mean obviously it's going to be down to the painter whether he's happy with what I've done. So I've just got to do the seal. I've taken this off because it was quite easy to take off, so obviously he can paint right into here now rather than having to tape, because he shouldn't be painting this piece, he should be blending it up to here. So, and that will give a much better finish. It means I can get the sandpaper right in here. The agreement that me and the painter have got is that I do the prep, which saves me money and saves him time, so I can get a better price basically. I hate doing this. I absolutely hate it. It's just so tedious and time consuming, and then you flat it all down, and you know, and then you have to wait 5-10 minutes and look at it, no, that bit's not done yet, right? You start, you know, a little bit missed here, a little bit missed there, do it again, wait, dry it off, wait for it to dry. That's that. So it'd be nice to get this all done, and then you can buff the front when the paintman is there, and I can get it sold, get it gone. So this is an update, the final update on the Cat S Corsa. Basically, long and the short of it is, it's done. So after a lot of issues and delays at the paint shop due to one thing or another, it's now back. So the front end has now all been buffed. This entire side has been painted. So the door has been painted, and then this arch, and then up and blended into the roof. So that's all been painted. It's all been valeted and cleaned, ready for sale. So obviously dashboard, airbag, seat belts, that's all been done. So it's MOT'd now, serviced, 2 keys, and this is it under the bonnet, all done, which I'm sure I've shown before, but it's all completed. So that's all done. So there we go. So was it worth it? No. Financially, no, not at all. If I'd been a bit more patient and bought an entire front end off of another car, then I probably could have saved quite a bit of money on that. But I mean, these cars that are not Cat S are around £8,000-9,000. I think this car caps at £8,000. So, you know, it's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, because it's the Cat S and what other people are asking for it on the market, which some of them are £5,500-6,000. So you've got to compete with that. But 10,000 miles, still smells like new in here. And then obviously you've got the Apple CarPlay and DAB, and you can sort of do sat nav through your phone onto that. So yeah, it's all ready for sale basically. So I'm done with this one, just taking some pictures, and I'll be listing it. So it's been a long time coming. I can't even remember how long I've had this car now. I don't know, it's been way too long, so I need to get it gone and sold. Right, so that's it on the Corsa. I hope you found the series interesting on buying one of these salvage cars. I didn't buy it directly from Copart, but I believe it came from Copart. I bought it for a trade contact of mine, and the cost of the car was relatively cheap. It was only £2,000, but the amount of cost of everything, the dashboard, the airbags, the panels, everything that's gone into it, it's just added and added and added and added up. So yeah, unless you're buying it for yourself and doing it for yourself, or you can really find the parts cheap, it's just not worth doing it as a profit, unless you really buy it cheap in the first place. Cheap, and even £2,000 for this car just sounds like nothing, does it? But when you do the figures. So there you go. So I hope you found it interesting, and this, as I say, this is the end of this series on the Corsa. So like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.